All right, guys, 3 reasons why donating money while you are poor or broke will help you to become rich over the long term. I'm going to give you 3 reasons. They're very straightforward and they're going to make a lot of sense to you. Number one, the abundance mentality. If you have a scarcity mentality, you tend to hold on and preserve your funds. Oh, money is hard to come by. I can't give any of it away. I have to hoard it. Okay? I have to hold on to it. I can't share it with anybody. If you have an abundance mentality, subconsciously you're thinking, money comes easy to me. I can always make more. I can afford to give X amount away right now because I know I'm going to get more. So it's the abundance versus the scarcity mentality. If I have an abundant mentality, I will continuously act in ways that trends toward abundance. If I have a scarcity mentality, I will continuously act in ways that leads me towards scarcity. I have to hoard. I have to be not frugal, stingy. Stingy is bad. You do not want to be stingy. Stinginess leads to you being poor. Abundance and being benevolent leads you to being rich because subconsciously it changes your mindset towards money. It's almost as if when I'm have an abundant mindset versus scarcity mindset, the scarcity mindset says money is so important, it's my God. And the abundance mindset says money is a tool, I am unattached from it. So that little mindset helps over the long term create different decisions in your life. All right? And that leads us into point number 2, the self-fulfilling prophecy. Once I have that abundance mentality, if I start acting in ways that subconsciously communicates to myself that money is easy to come by, it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. I'm going to give you an example of what happened to me. I mean, this is like a literal real example. My friend said, "Hey, could you give me a ride home?" I said, "Yeah, that's fine. Don't worry about it." He said, I can give you some money for gas." I said, it's really not a big deal. You don't have to pay me for gas, okay? 2 minutes later, I walked into a lake. We were at the beach. And I come out with I'm in the water and I just see $1 in the water. I pick it up, I'm like, sick, free dollar. And I was like, the universe rewarded my abundance and my benevolence to that person by saying, look, here's a free dollar. What are the chances of that coincidence, that there was just $1 floating in the water at just the right depth where I could see it? It's a good dollar. I got it still. But it's that self-fulfilling prophecy. It doesn't have to be anything spiritual or like manifestation or anything like that if you don't believe in that. But just from a psychological level, if I expect good things to happen, now good things happen. If I expect bad things to happen, what you're saying when you have a stinginess or a scarcity mentality, basically you're saying, I expect bad things to happen versus I expect good things to happen. And when you have that mindset, what happens is when a bad thing happens, if I have the abundance mentality, oh, this happens to everybody, it's no big deal, I'll pay for it. Oh, it's just a part of life. I'm not going to sweat it. I just had a nail in my tire. All right, I just bought new tires a few months ago. Spent a pretty penny on them. Now there's a nail in it and it's losing air. You know what? I could have said, see, the universe is always just I have all this bad luck, no matter what I do, money is just coming right out of my bank account every time. It's always like someone's out to get me. All right? So random event, all right? Verse, oh, you know what? A nail in my tire. I'll just get a patch kit or whatever if I got to pay for a tire, whatever, because money is coming in the future. And how we respond to little events like that affect how we are for the long term. Now, what you need to understand in all of this is setting a psychological foundation for something that's going to happen in the future. All right, so we have a bad financial event. I can either say, oh, this happens to everybody. It's it's just it's just a random event, not a big deal. Or I could say, oh, see, and it's kind of hard for me to come up with an example because I don't think like that. I'm not like, see, no matter what I do, I'm always going to be poor. I don't think like that, so it is really hard for me to come up with an example off the top of my head versus saying, oh, you know what? Well, I saved up $2,000. Now I got a car repair. Stuff like this happens in life. I'm okay with that. I'm not attached to the money, and I'll make more. Versus, oh man, I just saved $2,000. Now I have to throw it all away. Like, this is some bullshit. You see those two mindsets, they're going to cause a self-fulfilling prophecy. Now, more and more bad things are going to happen. I'm going to focus on the bad things. And eventually, over the long term, I'm going to be in a bad, negative state, and I'm not even going to try. First, the abundance mentality, I'm going to be in a positive state. And I am going to continuously build momentum and try to be successful. Now, I will say that life may try to get you down sometimes, but it's how you respond to those things. And the other thing for donating money, all right, so if we're going to go out and donate money, the third thing is it's evidence of belief. The Bible says faith without works is dead. This is a wisdom principle. You don't have to believe the Bible, but faith without works is dead. Basically saying, if I believe something and I don't act in accordance with that belief, I don't actually believe that thing. Faith without works is dead. If I say I believe something and I do not act in accordance of that belief, I actually do not believe that thing. Is how I would phrase that, okay? So I can say money is going to come to me, but then when there's an opportunity to give some of my money away that I have, if I believe money is abundant and I live in a great American economy, I can always make more money. If I believe that that is the case, but then someone needs $100 for a car repair and I'm like, nope, can't give you that. Sorry, you're screwed. What I'm saying is I actually believe that money is really scarce because I can't just say, hey, here's $100. No, don't worry about it. Even if I only have, let's just say I only had $1,000, that would be 10% of my total net worth. You see where that comes from? It's that internal belief system manifesting through your actions. This isn't any spiritual weird shit. This isn't any unproven thing. This is real actions and beliefs multiplied by a long period of time. That is very important. Ultimately will trend you in one or the other direction. That's what I wanted to share with you guys. This isn't some spiritual concept that if you just believe it's going to work, or if you don't believe it's not going to work. What it is when I have a mentality and I show evidence that I believe that mentality over the long period of time, I'm going to trend in that direction. To hammer this point home, we could use a gym example. Everybody knows that the gym works, okay? I had a good workout, I had a bad workout. Well, if I believe that I keep going and I keep giving 100% of my effort at the gym, over the long term, I'm going to get a self-fulfilling prophecy like, wow, I feel like I'm getting, I'm gaining more muscle mass. And the fact that I'm showing up at the gym and making an effort every single time is evidence that I believe that this thing is going to work. The Bible says in Proverbs, all hard work turns a profit. All hard work turns a profit. It is a 100% chance of success. 100% chance of success, guys. Have a wonderful day. Abundance mentality, self-fulfilling prophecy, evidence of our belief. Money is made in the mind with our actions before it ever arrives in our bank account.